This is going to be UFC Champions Box number 3. Let's go ahead and screen share everybody in the break. Rosendo, you're at the top. Christina H., you're at the bottom on a copy. And we're going to paste this into random.org. As always, random 7 times. Here we go. There's 1. Here comes number 2, 3. Watch it. Razzle dazzle. 4, 5, 6, and 7. All right, Rosendo at the top. Christina H. at the bottom on a copy. And we're going to paste this into our UFC weight class spreadsheet. Let me pull this up here for you. All right, and there it is right there. Boom. And let's make this real big as we read the names and classes off here to you. Rosendo, you got bantamweight. Kyle P., you got feather and flyweight. Rosendo with heavyweight. There it is. Darren M., you got lightweight. Kyle P., light heavyweight. You've also got middleweight, and Christine H. with welterweight. So if you want to look at those here for a moment here in UFC Champions Box number 3. Mark said he would pay you to choke him out. That's the kind of, and I think Mark actually just got fired from his job for knocking a guy out that mouthed off to him. If I'm not mistaken, is what he told me. Yeah, serious.
I don't think he's kidding when he said he'd pay for you to choke him.
Yeah, he's probably not.
Anger management.
He's probably not. Yeah. All right, so there it is. Any trades on classes, do so now. Let me set the break up here. So what we basically just did is that's everybody that owns a class in the break. Okay. So we'll be
whenever cards we pull the first weight class, they go to that.
Yeah.
They pull the heavyweight cards that go to the send-out.
Yes, I saw you looking. You're like, what the heck is he doing? what is this? Yeah. Oh yeah. Get to see the behind-the-scenes work as it happens.
Good luck, everybody.
Good luck, everybody, in the break. We are live with Frank Mir doing box breaks. Spread it out on Twitter. Let them know. Come by and hang out and watch us do a break. So now what we're going to do is that this is a group break. Everybody's bought in. They own the weight classes here.
Right.
So we're going to pull the cards, and what we're looking for is specific cards that correlate to what we call a hit. Is what they're looking for.
Okay.
And there's 5 randomly inserted autographs in here.
Yeah.
So we're going to get 5 autographs, and we don't know who they could be. Maybe we'll get Misha Tate.
Yeah, might get Misha Tate or somebody like
What
that.
if my card comes out and it's not autographed, but autographed?
Sure. Yeah, let's do it live. Yep, yeah, exactly. We'll definitely do it, man. We'll definitely do
Not
it.
a bad idea.
Not a bad idea at all. Let me set the camera up here, get the break rolling. Good luck, everybody. So who's got heavyweight? So Rosendo. We pull a mirror card, man. He's going to autograph it for you live, buddy. Yes, sir. That's good. Let's go. Let's go. Let's see what we pull out of here. Live with Frank Mir from Philly. All right, here's the cards. And as you guys know, all cards will ship. We will ship all cards.
So let's see if we get the autographs.
Yeah, see if we get the autographs out of here. All cards will ship out. Now, we're kind of flying through these. We're on limited time here with Frank. So all cards are shipped. So if you see me flying through them, don't worry. Every card will ship out. You know, everybody that buys and that breaks with us knows that we do ship out every card. Dustin Poirier right here, BJ Penn.
Oh, yeah.
What do we think about BJ Penn, Frank?
I mean, I came up a little bit just right after BJ, so I've always been a huge fan.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I still think he's one of the legends of the sport. I think that, you know, every time he fights, I root for him.
Mm-hmm.
His last fight looked a little strange. I think everybody kind of thought that. I mean, he's fighting one of the top guys in the world, Frankie Edgar, but
right.
With that being said, he still just didn't look right. So I don't know if cutting to 145 was
I agree.
Maybe the best thing for him. I mean, on paper, I was with everybody else. I thought a lighter, in-shape BJ Penn's extremely dangerous, but he just didn't seem to have any energy or any go, and his stance it didn't look like the BJ Penn that I'm used to watching win or lose.
Gotcha. Okay. And of course, you know, we just had this. We had a Dos Santos card right here, and of course, you've ran around with him, and we talked about him earlier. You see a lot of respect for this guy, so that's cool. That's cool. So let's see here. Here's a Jessica I. Auto. Look at this.
Wow.
Look at this.
You know anything about her?
You know anything about Jessica I?
Not really.
Okay.
A lot of the girl fighters now are making it big now. I mean, obviously, I know some, you know, especially out of Jackson's and stuff, and then Ronda and whatnot.
Right.
But I haven't been able to keep track with so many of the new female coming up.
Yep. Okay. Anyway, that's a bantamweight. That's going to go out to Rosendo right there. So see what happens is this is a break. So Rosendo owned the bantamweight spot right there. So we pulled a bantamweight card, so he gets the Jessica I autograph.
So if you got bantamweight, you get the guys and the girls. Sounds kind of
yeah, exactly. Yep. Exactly. There's a Michael Bisping. We talked about him earlier. There's my boy Machida. You ever met him, Machida?
Yeah, when I coached against Nogueira on the Ultimate Fighter show, he was one of the coaches.
Nice.
Real respectful, quiet guy. I mean, most of the Brazilians are,
Right.
Never really had any issues with any guys on that level. But yeah, he was real quiet. I saw him a couple times in the break room. I walk in there, kind of wave at him, just kind of look at me. I think there's a little bit of a language barrier, maybe. I don't even really know. He was just real quiet.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, cool. There we go. Here's a Nate Diaz, Johnny Hendricks, George St. Pierre right there. All right.
Didn't he retire?
St.
Pierre?
Yeah, he retired after the real close fight with Hendricks.
After Johnny got a hold of him.
Yeah, GSP is a phenomenal champion, but
yes, he is.
I kind of was everybody else. I was a little surprised.
Diego Sanchez. Joe, we were talking about him earlier. Carlos Conduit. All right.
Yeah, I'm anxious to see. We got 4 more autographs to pull.
We got 4 more autographs to pull out of here. All right.
See if we can't get a Frank Mir autograph out of here.
That's right. That's right. We're still rolling through the break here, looking for a few more hits. All cards are shipped, of course. There's Ronda. There's Ronda. Ryan Bader.
He was on the Ultimate Fighter show. Too.
Yeah.
He actually was on Nogueira's team.
Yeah. Here's Mark Coleman.
That's old school.
Old school guy right there, Mark Coleman. What do you think about old Mark Coleman?
You know what? That guy is extremely even strong. I remember we were working and training together, and he grabbed my leg and was trying to talk about how to stop a single, and he put his hand on the back of my head and pushed down to drive. I was like, I don't know if I could do that, Mark. That was you're kind of a different human being. That was pretty strong.
Jeez.
Wow. No, that's great.
All right. Larkin right here. And again, if you're joining the break for the first time, we do ship out all cards. There's Hoist Gracie. Hoist Gracie. And here is
another autograph card.
that's a relic.
Okay.
Kevin Gastelum right there.
Piece of the trunk.
You know this guy right here, bud?
Who is it?
Kevin Gastelum?
No, we haven't run across each other.
Oh, okay. So I think
that's a disadvantage sometimes. Now, I remember 5-6 years ago, I knew almost everybody that fought. And now the roster's grown so big with the addition of the weight classes.
The explosion of MMA.
Yeah, there's guys now that on main cards, and I hadn't caught their first couple fights, and I'm having to play catch up to figure out who they are and watch past fights.
Yeah, I believe he was an Ultimate Fighter winner, if my memory serves me right. Yep.
So Kevin?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I'm stupid. I do know who that is. For 185,
Kelvin,
right?
Yeah, Kelvin. Yeah.
Yeah, he fought Kelvin.
Yeah, Kelvin. Yep.
Yeah, he fought actually. That he was when I helped John Jones on his show with Chael Sonnen. He won for Chael Sonnen, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yep. I remember.
That's it.
Yeah,
Cool.
in fact, actually, I don't think he was kind of a sleeper. A lot of people really didn't have him highly touted. I don't think he was favored by a lot of people watching. And he just fight after fight, man. He found a way to produce and came through. And then even in the finale, I remember watching when he fought the other kid was a phenomenal fighter.
Right.
What's his name?
Uriah Hall.
Oh, Uriah Hall.
Yeah, that's it.
Uriah Hall looked like he was a future highlight reel.
Yes, he did.
There was some knockouts. I mean, he basically had our other team. I mean, everybody that pulled his name we had to give him pep talks. I thought we were going to have to give him Xanax before the fight. We were quite nervous to pull him, and then with Kelvin pulling out that win, it blew my mind.
Oh, there we go. Look at this.
All
right.
Right there.
Who's this guy, man? Who's this guy?
That guy?
Not too much.
Okay. All right, man.
It actually works out that way because if I had one of the signatures wasted on one of mine, then I couldn't have signed it.
Yeah, exactly.
So
there you go.
Cool. There you go, man.
You got a Sharpie?
You got a Sharpie? Let's get a pen here. Autograph that for our buddy Rosendo. Yep. Very nice. Very nice.
Sharpie floating around.
Very nice.
How cool is that?
Yep.
That's a good photo of you.
Yeah. This is what Photoshop's a mofo.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome, man. And it's going to go out to Rosendo. Yep. Going to go out to our buddy Rosendo. There's John Jones. He was here with you last time, actually, when we met you in Chantilly.
DC area.
Yep, John Jones. Good dude.
Yeah,
Good dude. Very good dude. Alex Karras right there. Yep, Anthony Johnson.
So we're still looking for
that guy's a
4.
freakishly big dude.
Yeah. There's a Pat Healy. Pat Healy card.
We're still hunting down 4 autographs.
You're still hunting on 4 autographs. All right.
We got 4 to come.
Let's kind of fly through these a little bit. Kind of fly. Live with Mr. Beer right here. We're having a good, doing some UFC champions right here, box 3. And again, you're going to see all these cards ship out. We do not hold any cards. Everything you shipped out. If I miss any numbered, I'm sorry. We've got kind of on a limited time here.
And Sharpie says he'll buy the Frank Mir autograph card from Rosendo. Rosendo wants to sell it.
Coach, I doubt Rosendo is going to sell that. There's a Teixeira right there. I doubt Rosendo will sell that. There we go. And again, if I didn't miss any numbered cards, don't worry. I'm just kind of... But everything you see will be shipped out by our super fantastic shipping department.
All right, here we go. Big money. Get a big pull, you guys.
Yeah.
Rosendo said no way he's selling that thing.
Yeah, I figured. There's the champ, Chris Weidman. What do you think of him, Frank?
Great fighter, man.
Yeah.
I think the mental fortitude too to come out and face Anderson Silva, who I think at the time when he faced him, almost a Mike Tyson type aura about him, where a lot of guys I think might have, already felt they were defeated before they walked in the octagon. He had a lot of confidence himself, and it was great not only to beat him once, but to come out there and beat him a second time. I know the second fight ended a little strangely, obviously with the injury to Anderson, but before that round, in the first round, Chris Weidman was winning the fight, controlling him once again. So,
Right.
to go and step against that level of competition and just show up with not a ton of fights, impressive. Mentally tough guy.
Gosh, cool, man. That's real cool.
Yeah, he just passed an awesome Ronda Rousey one a little while ago.
Yeah, Ronda Rousey.
Actually, a great shot of her.
Yeah.
She's quite an athlete.
Yeah.
Quite an athlete. She really is. Brings a lot to the women's MMA.
Well, they kind of needed that surgeons. I think that's really Ronda has helped carry it into the limelight, mainstream media. We had Gina Carano before, but then when Gina kind of took off after the loss to Cyborg, I think that Ronda's filled that hole and carried it away with it quite well.
I'm glad Mr. Dana White made a turnaround and his mentality about that. Because at first he said, no way we're ever going to have the women. And he did an about face, and I think it worked out good for UFC.
It has. And it's good. I mean, anybody has a daughter and wants them to train, like Ronda, we could point out and say that, the girls are able to compete in martial arts and be, great martial artists themselves.
Mm-hmm.
There's Overeem right there. All right. There we go. All right, let's keep rolling here in UFC Champions number 3. Some of these cards do well, man. Some of these cards do well. Depends on what you have. Remember, it's not always about resale value. It's about a collectability, value as well. The fun for the hobby. That's what I always say. That's what we always talk about in here. Sometimes it's just good to collect cards. Alexander. That's a tough dude right there, man. I think if I'm not mistaken, I seen him do a wicked spinning back punch one time. Yeah, and knock somebody out.
He's an Ultimate Fighter guy, too.
Yeah, phenomenal athlete. Good fighter. We got to hang out a little bit in Italy for a week. A cool guy, too.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a machine. Here's a Jose Aldo right here. That's a ring relic. That's cool. Featherweight. And that is Kyle P. There you go, buddy. Kyle P.
And Knucklehead said, ask Frank if he knows what Tank Abbott's up to these days.
Here's a Chael. I think it should be numbered.
I was
67 of 88.
mistaken
Chael.
enough to watch that backyard video thing someone sent to me, and I watched, and it kind of depressed me a little bit. So I watched about half of it and turned it off.
Oh, Tank Abbott.
And what was it, Ferroso 2? I thought
Dennis? Is it Dennis Barroso?
I forgot what the full name is, to be honest.
Yeah. He won one of the very first original UFCs.
Yeah, the real big belly.
Yeah.
I forgot his name right now.
Yeah, I think it's Dennis.
Is it?
I think it's Dennis. I could be wrong.
I don't remember, so I can't argue.
There's a Vitor Belfort right there. You know him?
Yeah, actually, real well. We've hung out a couple times.
That's a good shot of him.
That is a good shot.
He takes a good picture, right?
Yeah, he does. Eric Silva. All right, and we got a couple packs left, few packs left here. Scott, that was it. Scott, that's right. Yep, Mark, a good call, Mark. That is correct, man. For some reason, I thought it was Dennis. But you are right, that is Scott.
Scott Ferozzo.
Yep.
There we go.
There's a Junior Dos Santos. There's a Kane. He's the current champ. What do you think about him, buddy?
Oh, man, I think he's a phenomenal fighter. I mean, his only loss, he's come back and avenged twice over.
Mm-hmm.
The guy has a gas tank that is second to none and relentless, great wrestler. He's really a hard combination right now for anybody to fight.
Cool, man. Cool.
Says, Mr. Mir, have you met Matt Hamill? I think he's inspirational.
Yeah, I know Matt.
Yeah. Oh, there's another mirror card. All right. There you are, man. There you are.
Double signature.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say nothing about the card, man. I'm afraid. Sorry. I'm not gonna trash the card. Actually, dude, it's actually got you in a good shot there.
Yeah,
You know,
I think I was inhaling at that moment.
do you know what fight that was? You know what fight that was right there?
No, I'm bad at telling that by looking at the shorts.
Okay.
I mean, how cool is that, though, to be in a box break?
Ooh, this is a good one right here.
Right here. It's awesome.
Here we go. That's a real good one. Carlos Conduit right here. Wow. Check that out. You know Carlos at all?
Yeah, trained up in Albuquerque, so we got to hang out with him.
Sweet.
Cool guy, man. Just real laid back and a little bit on the serious side. Very focused when it comes to training and stuff. But he's a simple dude. He's easy to get along with, and very intelligent, and has a very good approach to training. I've actually talked to him about things, and he's able to articulate why he does things. He doesn't really just there's nothing off the cuff with him. Everything's thought through very well.
Cool, man.
A lot of guys do things out of superstition or just because they were told to. He's actually very scientific about his training.
Nice. Cool, man. That's awesome. That's a good story. Who's got welterweight? Who's got welterweight? That is Christina H. Christina H. That one is coming to you, ma'am. Very nice. Very nice. Christina H. All right, and next up. So like I said, this is a UFC Champions product we're doing right here. Next, we're going to do UFC Knockouts. And I think,
a couple of packs left on this?
Yep, couple packs left.
Right.
Couple packs left. Very nice.
We're still looking for one, right?
Yeah, I think we got one more. What do you think about him up against John Bones Jones?
Daniel Cormier?
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a great fight. I think that the only thing is that John's reach, man, is really hard to deal with, and he's used to always being the tall guy. So the only thing is, I think that, obviously Daniel's the better wrestler. I mean, the guy went to the Olympics for wrestling. I don't think anybody's going to make that argument. But I just don't know how he's going to be consistent about getting and closing the distance with John. Because if I had to put on paper who I thought probably had a really great chance at the time was Rashad Evans. The guy is blindly quick and a great wrestler. And even as quick as Rashad was, he couldn't get in on John. Very few people have. I think so far, in my opinion, still the toughest fight for John would be Gustafsson because he's also extremely tall in reach, and I think he negates one of John's best attributes. I think DC is always going to be a tough fight for anybody. He's obviously undefeated, great fighter. I can't say bad about him, but I just think that I'm not with everybody else where I think DC is going to have an easy night. I think that John's a hard guy to fight. And obviously, I mean, no one's, really honestly, he's undefeated if it wasn't for the disqualification. The guy, he's tough.
Yeah, I agree. Anyway, here's a Hector Lombard fighter use memorabilia. That's welterweight, of course, and that is Christina H. coming to you. Christina H. Here's a Rivera right here. 41 of 88. Right there, bantamweight. That's a Rosendo. And then we got a couple more cards here. All right, I wanted to ask you about one. I set one to the side here. Now you and him have been in the ring before.
Oh yeah, Roy.
Yeah. So.
And sparred many a times at training.
I got you. Okay. How's his right hand?
Oh man, everybody always asks me that question. Like who I've ever trained with or who I've ever fought that hits the hardest.
Right.
And Dos Santos hits extremely hard. I mean, I can have a who's who of who I fought that hits hard, from Carwin to Lesnar and everybody. You know, they're all powerful heavyweights. But I think the one that sticks out of my mind is Roy Nelson's right hand, man. Sparring or otherwise, he can move bones around when he hits you. And I think that you know, he just, as far as that singular punch that he possesses, is just. I mean, we've sparred together, and he's hit me with a 16-ounce glove on the top of my head and made my legs go numb. I thought he crushed my spine in. So,
jeez.
So I mean, incredibly powerful right hand.
Okay. So Roy Big Country Nelson's the real deal. All right, let's save this for YouTube. That was our UFC Champions Box 3.